of now.
Sapna, many thanks for joining us. Meanwhile, crude oil prices hitting the highest level in nearly 2 years. Qatar's energy minister told the Financial Times that the war could push the price of oil to as high as $150 a barrel, adding that Gulf nations will have to suspend energy exports within weeks if hostilities continue. It's not just crude oil. The Financial Times reports that Gulf nations could review their overseas investments. Now, Saudi, Qatar and UAE have pledged to invest hundreds of billions of dollars in the US, this after President Trump visited the region last year. Ashmi joins us now with more details. Ashmi, the Financial Times reporting that Saudi, UAE and Qatar may in fact review their investments, may in fact look at invoking force majeure clauses. What is the kind of exposure that these nations have to the US?
Well, that's the question that many experts are asking as to what is the kind of exposure, how deeply ingrained are these sovereign wealth funds sitting out of the Gulf, and what impact will a pullout have? Well, just to give a demonstration of how far deeply ingrained these sovereign wealth funds are, well, we all heard about the Paramount bid of $108 billion for Warner Brothers Discovery. Well, that's backed by two sovereign wealth funds. That's Abu Dhabi's Limad Fund as well as the Qatar Investment Authority. But that's, of course, the latest one. Over the last few years, there have been significant investments. Take Saudi's Public Investment Fund, for instance. Their total US exposure is north of $170 billion, equity exposure of $25 billion. They hold significant stakes in companies such as Uber, Lucid EV, Electronic Arts. They're also in partnership with SoftBank for a tech-focused fund that's a $45 billion fund in partnership with BlackRock for another $25 billion fund. That's just one of the sovereign wealth funds. Take Mubadala Investments, again, based out of Abu Dhabi, total US investments over $100 billion. Global Foundries, they are majority stakeholders, over 80%. So this entire semicon build-out story backed by Global Foundries, again, financed by Mubadala Investments. Abu Dhabi MGX, the latest kid on the block, formed in 2024, a uniquely tech-focused fund, and importantly, significant investments is what they've seen. Investments they've made in OpenAI, a part of the Stargate project that we've seen in the US, also partnering and working with tech companies such as NVIDIA, Microsoft, Oracle going forward. Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, again, more conventional investments into real estate, but their total exposure to the US is north of $500 billion. So those are significant investments. Kuwait Investment Authority, they've again invested $300 to $400 billion in the US. They've joined hand with companies such as Microsoft, such as BlackRock, and of course, Qatar Investment Authority. They're investors into xAI, Elon Musk backed xAI. They were also a part of the latest fundraise that Anthropic has done for $30 billion. They're also in a $25 billion partnership with Goldman Sachs. So this is merely a demonstration. This is not an exhaustive list, but it does demonstrate the extent to which these investment funds have penetrated these American enterprises. So that again then begs the question, what happens when they decide to pull the plug?
If they do decide to pull the plug, and whether that is in fact a warning, a threat that is being